just popped the drone up in the air. This is the last of the no-till corn for 2022. We had 3 pieces that we had planted without doing any kind of tillage. Now you're going to be wondering, gee Andy, why do you do A, why do you do any no-till, and B, why don't you do all no-till? Well, the reason why we planted this particular field here without doing any kind of tillage is for a number of reasons. One, it is real steep, as you can see, and 2, there's a lot of rock over in this particular area that we are in. So we're not really doing any driving beside as far as running the grain buggy alongside the combines, because we have some dips and whatever in this particular field. Now, as far as the regular camera goes, it really doesn't do much justice for showing what the hill looks like on this particular farm that we're on. But I figured I would throw the drone up in the air and it would kind of give you somewhat of an idea of the topography of the land here. This piece is about 30 acres. The previous owner milked cows on this farm up until about the late 80s, the mid to late 80s. And this here was never farmed. It actually had it was all pasture for their cows. Now we can fly the drone over the dairy barns here in a second. But I'm on somewhat of a level spot, and then it tips over into a pretty good side hill here. Now, when I was flying the drone in the last video, that field is, I'm just kind of circling around to the general area where that other field was when I had the drone up in the air, and I don't know if it's not there. I'm looking through a small screen. So that other farm that we were on when I had the drone up in the air is way out in front of us here. There's a pretty good sized housing tract that you can see here that is actually to our right side, and then that goofy shaped 120 acre field is what you see off in the distance. Now we have a lot of houses here to our right, which is our east side, and that is the village of Camillus. So I'm just going to kind of pan around here to where the combine is. I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing and fly the drone at the same time. Now I have an empty grain tank. Now in the last video I explained that we have a level land combine, and we are not on level land. Now what I meant by level land is we do not have the ability to tip our head to follow the contour of the ground. However, the combine is kind of following the contour of the ground. Now what they have in different regions, a friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine have side hill combines. One friend of mine just bought a brand new S780 John Deere combine, and he had Hillside, the Hillside, well, it's Hillco. The Hillco company put a Hillside kit in his combine, and what his combine would be doing if he was on this side hill that I'm on is the combine itself would run level. Therefore, he wouldn't have any grain loss. I have to go real slow on a side hill like this in order to assure that I'm not going to have any grain loss from being on the side hill. There is screens in the combine. You're screening the grain across the screens, and if it all flows to one side, the grain can kind of ride out through the back of the combine on what we commonly refer to the leaves and the other debris as trash. You want to sift that out, and you want that to fall down through your screens and have it go into the grain tank. Now, where I'm walking up through this one part of the field, I kind of split it right down the middle here because I need to do the steepest part of this field with an empty grain tank. I'm not exactly empty right now. I'm just coming up to about the middle part of the window, and maybe I can just kind of show the camera back to the back portion of the cab. I'm grabbing audio with a GoPro camera as we're filming here. So we have been blessed with awesome weather here. I don't know if I finished what I was actually talking about with the side hill combines, but at any rate, a side hill combine, or a combine that has a hillside kit, would be great for this field. Now, in the last video, I was also talking about the small head that we have on this combine, and I just happen to think about the amount, or the average size combine that we have in this area. Not we, but the common size combine that is most generally used in my area. And I came up with 8 to 9 combines the same exact size as ours within a 10-mile radius of our farm. 9500, 9510, 9560, 9570, 95, did I say 9550? I think there's an S750 or an S650 that a friend of mine just bought. Now, the other friend of mine that has the new S780, he's not that far from me. And the combines that are in my immediate area, they all run 6-row heads. Like I said, 9500, 9510, 9550, 9560, and a 9570. So that is the most popular combine for this area. Are they small farms? Not necessarily. A neighbor has and farms about as much ground as we do, and he has 2 9560 combines, and they are both they're both hillside combines. Now I'm getting ready to go down a pretty steep hill here, and I run in second gear, and in order to climb this hill, I have to put it in four-wheel drive. And the reason why I have to put it in four-wheel drive is because I need to split the hydraulic fluid or pressure. I have to split that between the front drive motors on the combine and the rear drive. It kind of doubles your wheel torque. The drone is really not demonstrating or showing the actual steepness of this hill, but we have shown some chopping that has got done from this field in the past, and I think I had the drone up in the air a few times while I combined it. A friend of mine a while ago, Daryl, actually rode in the chopper with me when I chopped this field, and he will attest to how steep this actually is here. So I have a fair amount of grain in the tank. I cannot climb this side hill again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get on some rows here that are more or less level. I have not swung my auger out, so Sarah does not know that I have a grain tank on. You guys can't see me. I am right there. So we're going to go ahead and put the drone away, and we'll join up with you once we get this field done to let you know that we have survived combining corn on this abrupt side hill. In order to climb this hill, I got to put it four-wheel drive. There we go. And we need to get ready to unload onto Sarah, and I have what they're telling me is a dead battery on the drone. So we're just going to swing around like this, get the auger going out, we'll let her get into place, and then we can offload onto her, which we've only got maybe, is it up into the windows on the grain tank extension? I don't believe so. We'll turn the head off, turn the separator off, wait for her to get into place. We'll kind of swing the drone around to the front of the combine here, and we'll kind of show you what things look like when we unload into place here. So why don't I get the drone down about, that's about eye level with me here in the combine. As you can see, it's about level there. And get it up a little higher so you can see a little bit of what we got going on. Grain tank goes into unload mode. Got the corn coming out into the grain buggy, and we can just kind of pan around here to what this side hill looks like. With the drone up in the air, it doesn't really show how steep this hill is. And I can kind of show you the dairy barn, which is over here on the other side of this hill. Now, back when they milked cows on this farm, they pastured the cows in this field here and in this hay field. They actually fed the cows at night when it was real hot out up on top of this hill. We ended up ripping up a cement pad that they fed the cows on with a feeder wagon at night. The old dairy barn was on the other side of the road where those two silos are standing. They also raised chickens, and they had their own grain facilities here, which we own the land here, but a friend of mine actually owns the grain bins, and he bought the grain bins from the previous owner. The agreement they had was that he could leave them on the land they were sitting on, and we said, you know what, we'll honor the same agreement there, and we let him leave the grain bins right here on this stretch of land. And there is grain bins. Looks like he is getting ready to unload a load of corn himself. So that is gonna about do it for this short but boring video. We've got a little bit left here on the bigger part of the field, and then we've got a couple of acres up on top of that hill there. So that's going to do it for this video. We're kind of long-winded. I don't know if I actually shown enough here with the drone, but I need to get it flown back to the combine. I've got like 25% battery left, and that is about it. Oh, cancel you. So that should do it, folks. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you at the next one.